Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to work through an application problem which involves finding areas of different figures. So this is a word problem. Let's read through it first and try to understand what they want us to find. It's about the cost of a lawn service. It says here, Bob and Mary's home lot is illustrated here. Here's the illustration, which we'll go through shortly. Bob and Mary wish to hire a lawn service to cut their lawn. How much will it cost them to have their lawn cut if the lawn service charges 3 cents per square yard? So essentially, we have to find the cost of cutting the entire lawn, right, of Bob and Mary's home. But they've given us the unit price, unit cost of the cut, which is 3 cents per square yard. So square yard means area, correct? Anything square, something square feet or square meters or square yard, it suggests it implies area. All right, so over here we have the a picture, a diagram of the property of Bob and Mary. It's a rectangular shaped property line, right? 400 feet by 300 feet, 400 feet wide and 300 feet in length. And within the property line, we have different structures. First of all is the house, and we see that the house is a trapezoidal shaped structure, all right? It has a height over here, which is 50 feet, and the base, because in a trapezoidal figure, the bases are of different measures, right? So one is 150 feet, the other end is 100 feet, all right? So this is the area of the house, which is trapezoidal in shape. Then there's a goldfish pond within the property line, and that has a diameter of 40 feet. All right, and it's circular in shape. Then there's a garage, which is 70 feet by 30 feet, and it's a rectangular shaped garage. There's a driveway leading to the garage, and that's 25 feet by 40 feet. And then there's a privacy hedge, which is 20 feet by 200 feet, which is also rectangular. All right, so when we find the area of the lawn that will need to be cut, we will have to subtract all these areas of the house, the goldfish, the garage, the driveway, the privacy hedge, because the lawn is around these structures, right? We have to subtract these areas where the different structures are, okay? So based on that, we have to first find the total area of the property, which is 400 feet by 300 feet, and then find the area of the house. We have to find the area of the goldfish pond. We have to find the area of the garage, that of the driveway, and that of the privacy hedge, and subtract all of these from the total property line, correct? And then we will have to figure out the cost, all right? So let's go about first finding the total area of the property line, and then we will find the areas of the individual structures, and then we'll do the subtraction one by one. So we'll go through this step by step, all right? So first we'll find the total area of the property, which includes the house, the goldfish pond, the garage, driveway, privacy hedge, everything together. So this is a rectangular figure, all right? So the area of a rectangle is what we need to look at, what we need to find. Area of the entire property is going to be length times width. That's the area of a rectangle. So let's write the area of a rectangle. All right, let me first write the formula, which is rectangle. So that area of a rectangle is length multiplied by width, length times width, all right? So here, the area of the entire property would be 400 correct? 400 times 300, which is equal to 12,000, right? 12,000 square feet. All right, so it's 120,000 square feet is the area of the entire property. Now, from that area, we have to subtract the area of the house. So let's find the area of the house, which is trapezoidal shaped figure, right? So area of house would be the area of a trapezoid. That's the shape of the house. So area of the trapezoid, the formula for that is 1/2 multiplied by height and then the two bases summed up. So within brackets, B1 plus B2. All right, so let's call this one B1 and this one B2. All right, and let's apply the formula. So it's going to be 1/2 multiplied by, what's the height? It's 50, correct? This is the height. So 1/2 multiplied by 50 multiplied by B1 plus B2, which is 150. Let's put that here. 150 plus 100, which is 250. So we'll end up with 1/2 times 50 times 250, correct? So that would be 50 divided by 2 is 25. So we will have 6,250 square feet. All right. So the area of the house with these measurements given to us for the two different bases, the height and so on, is 6,250 square feet. All right. So next we will go to find the area of the pond, correct? So that has a diameter of 40 feet. It's circular in shape. So we have to take into consideration the formula to find the area of the pond, of a circle, in other words. All right. So let's write that here. So area of the pond is equal to the area of circle, correct? So the formula to find the area of a circle is pi r squared, r being the radius, correct? So we are given over here the diameter of the pond, which is 40 feet, correct? So let's write that here. This is the formula for the area of a circle. However, we are not given the radius, we are given the diameter. So the diameter being 40 feet will have a radius. Radius is half of the diameter, right? So radius would be 40 divided by 2, therefore 20, correct? So area would be pi times 20 squared, correct? For a value of 400 pi. All right, 400 pi. So let's use our calculator to substitute the value of pi, which is 3.1415 approximately. Multiply that by 400 and we will get an approximate value for the area of the pond. And when I ran this calculation through my calculator, I got an approximate value for the area of the pond as 1,256.64 square feet. Okay, so let's circle these areas that we are finding. Over here, this is the area of the pond. Then we have the area of the house, which was 6,250. And over here we have the area of the entire property. But we have a few more areas to calculate, that of the garage. So let's do that next. Area of the garage. And these are pretty straightforward because they are all rectangular in shape. So it would be length times width. So for the area of the garage, so area of garage is going to be length times width, which is 70 times 30, right? Length times width, which is 2100. All right. And then we have the area of the driveway. So area of driveway, again, that is going to be length times width, which is 25 times 40. Correct? So that would be 1,000, and these are all square feet, correct? All square feet. And then the privacy hedge, correct? So area of the hedge is again length times width, and that's 200 times 20, correct? So 20 times 200 for 4,000 square feet. All right. So now we have to sum all these areas. We have to sum all these areas inside the property, and then we have to subtract the sum from the total area of the property, and that will give us the area covered by the lawn, correct? So now that we have found the individual areas, starting with the area of the entire property and then the areas of the different structures within the property, we can find the area covered by the lawn by subtracting the sum of the areas of the different structures from the total area of the property. So here we found the area of the entire property is 120,000 square feet. So from there we have to subtract the area of the house, the area of the pond, garage, driveway, hedge, and that will give us the area of the lawn. So let's work that here. I've already written down the total area of the property is 120,000 square feet. Now when we sum up the areas of the house, which is 6,250, and then this is the area of the pond, garage was 2,100, driveway was 1,000, and hedge was 4,000 square feet, they all add up to 14,000. All right, let me write that down here. 14,606.64 square feet. All right, and when we subtract that value from the area of the entire property, we should get the area of the lawn, which should come up as 105,393.36 square feet. All right, that's the area of the lawn. So let's go back to the question, because the question didn't just ask us to find the area of the lawn. They asked us to find the cost of cutting the lawn of that size, of that area, all right, at a unit price of 3 cents per square yard. All right, so it says here the unit price is 3 cents per square yard. Now note here that they've given us the price in terms of square yard. However, we found the area in terms of square feet because all the dimensions here were given to us in feet, correct? So the next step would be to convert this square feet, 105,393.36 square feet, needs to be converted to square yards. So let's look at the process of conversion at this point. So the conversion for feet to yard, it goes like this. 1 yard is equivalent to 3 feet, correct? However, here we are talking about square feet. We are talking about area. So we have to square the amounts here. So 1 square yard is going to be 3 square feet, all right, which is going to give us 9 square feet, all right? So given that, to convert 105,393.36 to square yards, we have to divide this measure by 9. All right, so to convert, let me write that down here, to convert from square feet to square yards, divide by 9. All right, 9. So I'm going to take 105,393.36 and divide it by 9, and we get a value of 11,710.37, and that is in square yards at this point. All right, it's in square yards. So now that we have the measurement in square yards, we can apply the unit price of 3 cents per square yard, which is the same as saying that 1 square yard. So 1 square yard costs, to cut the lawn of 1 square yard, it's $0.03, which is 3 cents. Therefore, to cut 11,710.37 square yards, you just have to multiply with the 0.03, correct? So to get the answer, we have to take our 11,710.37, multiply it by $0.03, which should give us a value of 351.51. All right, so that is going to be our final answer. So the cost of cutting the lawn of this size, 11,710.37 square yards, is going to be $351.51. All right.